Hi there, and welcome to another episode of A Voice Shared with myself, Dion John. And I've got another very special guest that's going to share her experience of bullying throughout her life, and that is Demi Johnson. How are you, Demi?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. You?
Very good, thank you. I'm admiring the Care Bear top here. I'm in love with it. I love it.
It is very, very cute.
It is matching the backing of this as well, which is fantastic. Very pink and purpley. I like it.
The minute I saw a Halloween Care Bear, I was like, I need it.
Yeah, that's it. And purple is obviously the colours of Bullies Out, which is the charity I'm an ambassador for. So I do like a bit of purple at the moment. So this is, we're going to be talking about quite a difficult subject that a lot of people have been through. So thank you for coming on and talking about your story with us, because it is quite a difficult thing to talk about. So we'll start off with your experience of bullying, and yours sadly started at school. So tell us a little bit about what happened there.
Mine started when I was very, very young. Where in primary school you used to do year 1 and year 2, I didn't. I went up and did 2 years of year 2. So it started there, where I was the youngest child in the class and I was little, and this was like physical. The kid opposite me used to kick me under the table, and I never spoke about it for a very long time. And it was only that I started having nightmares about it, because it was getting that bad. And my parents were like, what the hell is going on? And it all came out. But I think it's just because I was younger and I was smaller. So it's like obvious target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can be so difficult. But how do you find that's affected you through life? I mean, does it, kind of come back to you? Because I know it certainly did with me. It gave me knocked my confidence maybe in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it really did knock my confidence. And I kind of didn't really have any self-worth. So I gravitated to people who really did the same thing. Because I felt like I didn't deserve any better. It's something where I've had it all my life. It's like, oh, well, that must be how I deserve to be treated. So it's ended up with like bad relationships and things like that. So I've got some self-worth now.
Yeah, I completely agree with it, because it does affect you, doesn't it? It does, like, kind of just put something in your head if it happens at a young age. I mean, this is why, I'm hoping these days there might be a bit more support, but also it's like a double-edged sword, don't you think, a little bit, because you've got maybe more support accessible online and things you can look up online, but also then there's bullying that happens online, cyberbullying, which then can kind of, you've got that in this sort of day and age, that wasn't about back then. You've had a bit of online bullying. Tell me a little bit about that.
To being a plus size girl, there's always somebody that's going to talk badly about your weight or make derogative comments. And I've had a lot of it, because when you put yourself out there, you kind of get that. But it's something that now I've learned to look over it, because a lot of these people are faceless accounts and they wouldn't say it to you if they saw you. It's just they feel confident doing it on the internet. And a lot of these people are actually unhappy about things about themselves. It's not me that's the problem, it's them.
100%, because you're beautiful inside and out. And I tell you what, like, we both do pageants, which is fabulous. And did you find that sort of boosted your confidence a bit?
Definitely. I always say pageants saved my life. They really did. And I wouldn't be confident and have the worth I've got in myself now if it wasn't for pageants.
Definitely, I'll agree with that. I mean, there's so many lovely people, and you've got the support of other women. I mean, of course, that's how I met you, which is fabulous, and you get to meet superstars like yourself. But it is really hard because, obviously, again, with pageants, for instance, you might be putting pictures up, are you doing a pageant, things like that. That can encourage online trolls sometimes and things like that. I mean, they are normally faceless people that have got nothing better to do, really. But it doesn't stop it hurting, doesn't it? It can be very, very hurtful in these situations.
Yeah.
It can be. So you had a bit of other bullying in adulthood, going back to when you were studying. Tell me a little bit about that.
So it's kind of like I got in with some older girls when I was at college, and I've always sort of, I don't know why these people gravitate towards me, where, they are nasty people. I went through basically high school with a girl who was supposed to be my best friend, but really she was a bully. If we fell out, other people couldn't talk to me and things like that. And for some reason, I always sort of gravitated to those types of people, or they always seemed to gravitate towards me. So I had similar experiences in college where people would be like, oh, but because I've always really enjoyed school. School's been my escape, and because I always did well and I would excel at school, and I just enjoyed learning. I was just a curious child. It's been the same up to adulthood. People make horrible comments because you're doing well in your exams, or you're doing well in your schoolwork or your college work. Like at college, I finished a lot of my assignments early, and I was marking other people's assignments, like just spell checking and things like that before the tutor. And then horrible comments were made about that. And it's like, just because I'm doing well and you're not, that's nothing against me. Like, if you don't want to put the effort in, that's fine. But why try and drag me down about it?
No, this is it. It must have been really, really hard for you. And I find a lot of bullying can stem through maybe people could be going through something bad themselves, and that's obviously the way that they react, or it could mean that they're maybe jealous or something like that. But it is really, really awful way that humans treat each other sometimes, isn't it? And you just want to kind of take that horribleness away. I mean, what advice would you give to someone that's been bullied going forward?
I think it's like you've got to learn that it's not really about you. It's more about them. And if they want to be horrible and they want to say nasty things, that's just a reflection of their character or a reflection of what they're going through. It's like both me and my brother were bullied in school. He still hangs on to it. And he's like, yeah, but I was bullied. And I'm like, yeah, so was I. But you use that as part of your power. And you take those things. And like, I always got bullied for being a nerd. And now I embrace that. I'm like, I love that about me because it's what makes you different. And a lot of the time they don't like different. Or like when we was at school, it was like, oh, you get bullied because you didn't have the latest trainers and things like that. And in school, you'd be devastated about it. And you're like, well, I need it. But my parents couldn't afford it. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, oh, who really cares? Like, did it really matter? It does. None of those things matter. Like, when it comes to it, you leave school, you never see these people again. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, none of it matters in the long run.
No. I just think when you're young, you do kind of take on board bits that don't matter so much, you know. Because I was exactly the same. Funny enough, my experience of bullying with school. I remember. Oh, I think back in the day, I might be showing my age now. It was like Doc Martens were in fashion, but I couldn't get a pair of those because my parents couldn't afford them either, and things like that. And everyone had them, and I was like, oh no, I'm just going to embrace what I've got. But it is difficult, and I just think in adulthood, I do feel that people should know better when they're an adult, and that's the most heartbreaking thing I think is when these online bullies sometimes do they know how much damage they're doing to someone. They could really be hurting someone, affecting their mental health. So it is difficult.
Yeah, you would hope that people would learn with age. And I know that some of the kids that went to my school have, because they've got their own children now. So they're like, oh, I wouldn't want my child to be treated like that. Mm-hmm. But it's all good and well. Like, for example, one of the guys that used to bully me when I was at school, he's now on a TV, like a national TV advert. Mm-hmm. And it's so strange to see him and be like, oh God, he used to bully me. But it's like, obviously he's moved on with his life, he's doing good things. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, good for you type thing. There's no bitterness or anything like that. And it's kind of something, especially when it happened in childhood, you have to overcome it, because we're all different people when we're kids. We all learn, we all grow.
Yeah, definitely.
No, thanks, Grandad. No, thank you, Grandad.
Hello, Grandad.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just on a call with my friend at the minute. Yeah.
Brilliant. So that's fine. But no, I'll that's okay. Don't worry, we'll carry on. Grandad can join in, bless him. You sound so sweet. But no, it's been an absolute pleasure you coming on here and just saying a little bit about your story. With all these videos, I'm just going to let people that are viewing these know that there is helpline numbers and information about the charity Bullies Out, which has got loads of information on their website, and also helpline numbers and everything like that. So any video that does go up on YouTube, all the details will be at the bottom in case someone needs it. So thank you so much, Demi. I really appreciate you talking a little bit about your story.
Thank you so much, my lovely.